So coming off the games yesterday, we saw Cloud9 suffer your first loss together again in the first map. How did that go, and then how did you regain?
Yeah, so our first series, obviously, we lost the focus 2-1. I think as a team, we've answered before. We have a lot of pressure on us, but I think we played our weaknesses rather than we played our strengths. Whereas I think in our last two series, we played our strengths. We like to practice a certain way to work on ourselves, which is about as much as I'll give you. But yeah, that's kind of what happened in the first series. I think jitters, nerves, stuff like that. We got over it, finding our footing.
Yeah, you definitely did find your feet quite quickly as well with two back-to-back 2-0 wins. Um, how did the two wins go? Did you find them quite comfortable, or was there at any point did you feel like you were a little bit under the cosh?
I think the two wins went pretty smoothly. I think our biggest hiccups that we ran into was kind of not doing too much. We kind of just ran like the same stuff over and over again in the rounds, and we just kind of ran at them in both series. And it's just kind of like worked to our favor. We have very individualistic players. They're very mechanical. I think Nate or Leaf and Zeppa had insane maps. Ye had insane maps. So playing with those guys, it makes the game a whole lot easier. So yeah.
We have seen the format be prepared in a manner that it sees you have a day off, and then 100 Thieves, who, should you both get to the final, they would have had a game today, and you've had an extra day to prepare. But also that extra day might give you a little bit of rustiness. Is there any specific way that you prefer it to be?
I haven't really, in other tournaments you kind of get like each day, like the same teams get the same days. I'm pretty sure. But in Valorant, obviously, like things are going to be newer to the TOs and stuff like that. There's not really much that I can really say besides like I think 100 Thieves is playing today, so they're not going to have two games tomorrow. Whereas you can make the argument we're going to have two games tomorrow, so we're going to be warmed up for the finals if we make it. But obviously, we're just going to go in, we're going to play. Like today, we practiced like every other day, every other regular day. We're just going to do what we have to do, and if we run into humps or hurdles or whatever, like we'll come to that time when it comes.
When you get these type of days where you do have a little bit of downtime in between tournaments, how do you use that time to prepare? Do you kind of just study them, watch the VODs, or do you, obviously without giving away too much, do you crack down and continue working on strats and stuff?
I don't do the prepping. Maybe I'll watch like a VOD here and there, but we have a good support staff. Our coach MC, our six helps a lot with that as well, Cupert, and obviously our IGL Vanity. We treat it like every other day. Obviously, they may like look at the VODs and stuff like that. We might prep, or they might prep a little bit and just tell us what we need to know. I think overloading information can be bad at times. So keeping it like to your staff that you're supposed to have and stuff like that, and then them just giving you the bits and pieces of information. The rest of us shoot our guns, throw our utility, yada yada yada. But other than that, yeah, you just scrim, go over stuff, watch a VOD, take the notes, stuff like that.
Who would you prefer to face in the semi-final? That's always the fun question to ask, but you've got Crew or you've got Team Liquid that are coming your way. Who would you prefer to play?
Obviously, I don't know if I'd really prefer anyone to play. I think we play Crew or Liquid to make finals. I would like to play Crew only because playing against stand-ins, they don't really have anything to lose. So, they don't really care. They can just run at you, or like there's no pressure on them, stuff like that. Even if this is like a fun tournament or whatnot. So I'd like to play Crew. And then in the finals, when we make it there, I want to play 100 Thieves just to show like NA dominance early at the end of the year. And then, we go into that to the start of the year.
When you are like the two favorites of the competition, is there any point where you kind of are already looking towards the final rather than focusing on the next game? Have you already got kind of one eye on that 100 Thieves matchup?
Yes. For me personally, I'm like a realistic person. I like to, obviously we have to play the semifinal. We have to get to the final. But then at the same time, I'm kind of like, if you don't see yourself in the final, why are you even playing type thing. Like I like to step into like those shoes, manifest that almost, if you'd like to call it that. I believe in manifestation a lot. If you think about it speak it, you're going to will it into existence. It's going to happen eventually. So yeah, I'm big into that.
So when you do get to your first semi-final tomorrow, how are you going to make sure that you don't face the same problems as you kind of did yesterday when the first match didn't quite go to plan? Is there anything that you're going to kind of like tweak in the pre-match prep to free of that nerve? Obviously, you've got the crowd as well to play to.
Making sure we don't fall into the rut that we fell into the first match. I want to give like a detailed answer, but I don't really know how. So I'm just gonna say like I'm gonna try and make sure that we check our boxes before we get into the match. I'm sure our coach as well will make us check the boxes before we get in the match, and hopefully we can run with that. And then if it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well. You know, another match, another win, another loss. Call it a day.
If you do get to 100 Thieves, how do you fancy your chances?
I mean, obviously the 100 Thieves looks really good at cryo. I think that was a good fit for them. I think that was a good pickup. Obviously, besides our first series, we look pretty good as individuals as well and as a team. We're kind of all playing. I think we have like the best assists in the tournament or something so far. So I think hopefully on land they'll be a little nervous. We can shake it up a bit, play together, and I think we'll take it.